Hey guys, as I've been talking to churches recently, I'm hearing a theme, same theme again and again and again. And it's this: as we've re-engaged and we're doing church again, we're struggling to find volunteers and leaders to fill the roles that are necessary to do the ministry that we do. People are telling us no. People have actually left our church during this season, or people are telling us, hey, our life has changed so much that we just can't volunteer, we can't lead right now. So because of that, so many churches are struggling to get the leaders they need to fill the positions they have as their church is re-emerging. So I want to show you something. Hopefully this will be helpful to you. Okay, this little chart behind me. Okay, let me explain it. I want you to imagine for a moment that you have a church of 200 people. And then, and everything's great, you know, and then all of a sudden COVID-19 hits and the 200 people are no longer coming to church. So it goes down to zero, okay? 0 people coming to church. A few weeks, few months later, all of a sudden you open up your church doors and you're doing church again. Now, from everybody I'm talking to, they're getting about 30% on average, getting about 30% return to church. And then after a few weeks, that grows up to about 60%. And then hopefully over time, it's going to go up to 90 or 100%. Okay. So here's what I want you to understand. This church of 200, as well as every church in America for the first time in history, has the opportunity to rescale the leaders they need for where they once were. Okay. So you're going to grow back to where you once were, hopefully, but it's your opportunity now because you only have 30, then 60, then 90%. It's your opportunity to scale back up to where you were. Now, here's the beauty of this is you have 200 people in this scenario, 200 names of people that you can capitalize on and try to draw from. Yes, you got some people who are saying no and all that, but you got a host of 200 people that you can draw off of to try to rescale the leaders and volunteers that you need. Now, here's the thing I've been processing. There are 2 skills that are absolutely essential for your staff and key leaders if you're going to rescale leadership in this season. Number 1 is recruiting, and number 2 is development. You have to be able to recruit people, and you have to be able to develop leaders. If you can't do those 2 things, you're going to struggle rescaling your church back to the attendance it once was. And so here's what I've seen. So many staff members have a doer mindset rather than a developer mindset. And when you have a doer mindset, guess what? You struggle with recruitment and you struggle with development. So that is why there are some churches that are struggling rescaling back up to where they once were with the leaders they need, the base of volunteers they need, because they have staff members and key leaders that are not good at recruiting and not good at developing. There are some churches I'm watching, I'm talking to them, and they are repopulating, they're scaling back up. I've had a couple of churches go, yeah, we got more than enough leaders right now. We got 30, 40% people coming back. We got plenty of leaders right now because they're doing recruiting and they're doing development. So important. So here's the thing. We've got to get our staff and key leaders out of a doer mindset and into a development mindset, especially when you're rescaling, okay? When you're rescaling, there's a greater emotional, spiritual, and competency challenge that your staff and leaders are going to have to face in order to rescale and regrow the volunteer base and leadership base that you once had. Okay, so tomorrow I'm coming out with a blog post called Doers versus Developers. Doers versus Developers. So check that out. It's going to describe the difference between doer and developer and the results and the dangers of being a doer mindset, allowing a doer mindset on your staff versus a developer mindset. So you can check that out at maclakeonline.com, maclakeonline.com. That's where I blog, and you can check that article out tomorrow. All right, hope this helped. We will continue the conversation this week.